everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I thought I would do a flip through of my cruise that I did last year. My husband and I and my sister and her partner went on a 7-night cruise to the Whitsundays, which is up north, still part of Queensland, but we did 2 stops, and a drive-by. I'll talk about that in it. But yeah, so I started with a book that I had picked up from, there's a big book fair at the start of the year run by a charity, and that's where I actually got my book from. And what sold me on it was the colour. So I went, oh, blue, that's perfect for what I want for my cruise. So I ran with that. So I didn't actually cover too much of the page up. I put a little bit of scrapbooking paper here to make the cover. This was a Vicky Boutin, a bunch of like die-cut papers, which was from a travel theme. And yeah, I ran with that. I thought that was really cute. So it's got lots of cute little stickers and things on it. Oh, ship on a bottle. I thought that was perfect. And I had been saving that for this very project. So yeah, so that's my little book that I created. I made the fat edge on this side so I could put plenty on it. I made this little, little jingly down the side, which has got, lots of anchors and shells and starfish, and I think it's got a fish on it somewhere. No, maybe not. Maybe I didn't have a fish on this one. Yeah, so I made that all to go with it, all in the similar sort of colours. And I put a bow on it as well, because it's a bit of a chunky one, and it's got lots of things hanging out of it. I thought that was a good idea to hold it all together once you're not using it. All right, let's get into it. So I put some scrapbooking papers and made my inside of my cover. I had this cute little pocket that I'd made, and this had our actual cruise cards. So there were our cruise cards that we went on to P&O with. So I kept those. I keep everything when I go on these sorts of things, because you never know when you can use it, and they're nice things to keep. So they're nice keepsakes to have. So through this entire journal, I picked a couple of things up before I started. So I did a bit of research to find out what sort of colours and things I wanted to use. So I actually went for this is Simple Stories. It's called Pack Your Bags, that had some amazing papers. I don't have too many left in here. These are all from this particular collection, which I thought was perfect, and it had lots of the colours that I knew that I would be using. I knew we would have turquoise waters, all that sort of stuff. So I ran with one collection, and then I came across Vicky Boutin had a travel collection that came out, and I used a few of those as well in it, just to mix things up a little bit. They were similar colours, which was great. Yeah, so I really think when you're doing something like this, to pick a collection, and I bought a few different things. So I bought the paper pad, I bought the cardstock stickers, I bought the puffy stickers, lots of different things that I knew that I would use through this entire journal. And most of it went. So the colours were great. And if it didn't, I incorporated another colour into it just to, factor in something else, which was lots of fun. So this first page, it's got time for a vacation. So this was all about our tickets that we had to put on our suitcases, which was great. So I took a photo because, I'm a journaler and I like to tell a story. So yes, I created this front little page, and it had, with our room number and everything on it, where we were, what deck, all that sort of stuff. And I used lots of these little stickers right through the whole thing. So this one says, it's time, the day has finally arrived and it's almost time to go. Bags are packed, tickets ready, and the label's about to go in our bags. The cab's on its way, can't wait. So yeah, so that's how I started my journal, which was a bit of fun. The next page is all about our room once we had arrived. where our cabin was, what our room number was, all that sort of stuff, which was quite cute. So you would probably never use suitcases on many other things unless you're traveling. So I had to use the suitcases because you never know when you're going to use them again. So that was cool, and I just used lots of different papers from the paper pad to put in for backgrounds, that sort of stuff. These stickers and tiny little labels and things. I use a app called Life 360, and I thought it would be great to take photos at different times in the cruise and show where we were. So that was cool. So I did that repeatedly through different locations and things. So you'll see a few of these pop up with the map. So it's Life 360 app, but you can take photos of the actual app as you go along. So that's that page. And then this one is, it's got a little pocket. So this is just a little paper bag. And I've got pack your bags. That's one of the stickers. They're really cute, fun, puffy stickers. So, and then I had a little bit of tidbit about why ships don't have level 13. See that? There's no level 13. Anyway, we had a discussion in the lift, and I thought that was a cute conversation to record. So that's all about that, about being superstitious. I also kept, these were on our bags when we were hopping off. So they, I decided to keep them, just put a little tag on them. They were quite cute. So I thought, they're going in there too. This was about a show. It's my sister and her partner. Yeah, which is lots of fun. On the other side was about the lobby. The lobby had these fantastic big, what would you call them? This is where the lifts go, these things in the lifts. And they've got like these cutouts and stuff. And they look really groovy. Look groovy that night. So I took a photo. We were sitting having some drinks, listening to the band that's way down here. This is about lunch. And Father's Day was actually on our second day. So they had this big cake for all the dads, and everybody got a piece of cake, which was nice. But yeah, I've just sort of doubled up, used lots of bits and bobs, washi tapes, whatever I need to get the page done. I also use these paper clips. You'll see these go through it as well. So these paper clips have just got a bit of fabric attached to them. They're nothing fancy, but they're big paper clips, and I just slotted them in here, there and everywhere to add a little bit of difference. So this is another one. This was like a giant tag in the Vicky Boutin pack. The good thing about it was it actually fit the size of this journal, so that's why I decided to use lots of them. So, which was good fun. It was good. Made for really good backgrounds and stuff. So this, I had a pink shirt on, pink and red. So I had a bit of a dig through because it didn't have much pink. It had this sort of peachy pink. But I thought, what's to say we throw in? It wasn't that much different. But I thought, I'll go through my stash and see what I could find. And this is a really old Heidi Swap, one of those little manila file folder things, because it's very Heidi Swap pink. So I used that to add a few more photos and things on the next page. So that was a bit pinky. And then this, on this side, I just used colours that I already had in there. So palm trees, where I probably wouldn't use too many palm trees anywhere else, but it was perfect for this. So I added some palm trees, some hearts, cameras, all that sort of thing. So let's see all of that. A bit closer. Yeah, there's lots of different things. Oh, where did that come from? Oh, it's on here. I'll have to stick him back on. Yeah, so lots of different things. Even though one of the travel things had this big picture of the city. Ellie Beach does not have a massive bridge like that and is not that fancy, but hey, it worked for this kind of a page. It showed, different parts of the city. That was looking down the main street. And my husband and I had been to Ellie Beach we worked out 17 years earlier. And we couldn't get over. There was a few houses and places on the hill, but not like what it looks like now. So I had to take a photo of that. I thought I'll have a dig back through my photos at some point, but haven't actually located the original photos so of that particular hill. But yeah, such a pretty place. It's a very touristy place, Ellie Beach. Lots of visitors come here each year. This was in Ellie Beach as well. This was lunch. We had, I think I had calamari and chips for lunch by the look of that. It was lovely. And this has got lots of little, it's got the little bit of journaling tucked away in behind, which is nice. Sat him in there. So yeah, and tried to use up as much as I possibly can from the sticker book, because everything matched. So yeah, came out really, really pretty. This was our cocktails back on the boat after we'd had a big day in Cairns. This was the boat that used to get us back onto from the mainland. The boat can't dock in Ellie Beach. It's too shallow. So yeah, so boats, you hop on a medium-sized boat and you come out to the big boat and they unload you and you check back in for the day. So of course our first pit stop was go and have a nice cocktail and have a sit down for a little while, which was nice, before getting ready for dinner. So now this is lovely. I love that P&O does this. So this is our third cruise with P&O, and each time we've been, they have done this. So I kept this little note paper and I made this little pocket that goes in here. So there's a little pocket here, and I showcased, you get a little message each day in your room. And the messages are, you know, sometimes it's a little heart, sometimes, you know, have a lovely day, a wonderful day from Adrian and Raj. They were our stewards who looked after our room. Always wishing you a never-ending magic happiness every day. Stay happy. Welcome on board. It's time for another adventure. I thought these are just such a nice touch, which is really nice. You look forward to going back to your room at night time just to see what they've put in there. So I wanted to keep all of that and do a bit of a page about it. And one night we came back from dinner and we had this elephant on our sitting up near our TV, which was quite cute. And he had a little note attached to him as well. So I thought I would document that sort of thing as well, because these are nice to keep, that's for sure. These were our stewards that looked after our room each day. They made our bed and made everything lovely, which was so nice. So yeah, so that's just a little bit of journaling all about the notes and our fabulous stewards, which was really nice. So this was about the theme nights. So when you go on a cruise, they have at least 2 or 3, just depending how long your cruise is. And it's usually every second night they do a theme night, which is fun. So we had a white party, we had a Gatsby night, and we had an island night. So I actually had to go and buy a, funky shirt for island night, which was good. Yeah, so I took a photo of the board each time, thinking that I would take a photo of us. And I didn't get around to that. I think I took one, my husband took a photo of us. I think we're coming up for the island night. And you can't even see my shirt. He's got it tilted so that you can't even see. You can see his shirt, but you can't see mine, which was quite funny. So on reflection, next time we'll have to get a photo of each of the nights the next time we go. So that was my thinking on those. But hence it is just the boards for each night. So okay, wrong one. Then we arrived in Cairns after that. So we had booked a tour in Cairns, and my husband and I went off and did the Sky Rail. I can't remember what my sister did. They went off and did something else. They've been to Cairns many times. Her partner's sister lives in Cairns, so they've done heaps there. So where we had never, or my husband had been to Cairns before, but I hadn't. So we decided to do a tour and have a bit of a look around, which was nice. And we were actually there for 2 full days. So this was the first day. The tours are all mainly on the first day. So this was sailing into Cairns. This was docking in Cairns. And then we went and did the Sky Rail. So the Sky Rail was takes you up to the rainforest, which was really nice. We had a fabulous day up there. There's another one of these little pins as well, just with some fabric tied onto them. Nothing fancy, but it adds a bit of dimension, a bit of texture, which is nice. So I while I was away too, postcards are a fantastic way of adding in where you are. They always take amazing photos. So this is the sky rail out the front. I created this one into a pocket so that I could keep like my sky rail tickets. These are our tickets to go on the sky rail, which was pretty cool. And I also got one of these because we saw, this is a Ulysses butterfly, which is only found in North Queensland. And while it's coming up, we visited a butterfly house, but they didn't have any of these particular butterflies. But while we were flying over the canopy on the sky rail, we could see them in the rainforest. So I had to keep a little bit of a memento of those pretty butterflies. And they are huge, like they are massive butterflies, like huge butterflies, not like teeny tiny ones, huge. So I decided to keep a little keepsake of those. And the pocket's great because the pocket can keep all your keepsakes and mementos and things in as well. So that was the sky rail. I used it as a bit of a flip on here because I had too many photos that I had to try and incorporate into it. So I used this. This was the very start when you hop on the sky rail. So you line up in a bit of a line. So this is at Smithfield. That's where they drop you off. That's where the bus dropped us off. And then there is 1, 2, 3 stops pretty much. And then you go to Kuranda, which is right up the top. And it's like a little treetops town, I suppose you could call it. It's right up on top. So, yeah, beautiful, beautiful spot. Yeah, so you'll see a lot of this as we wander through. So this is part of all the rainforest and the gorgeous views, massive trees. It was such a really, really nice place. There's that page. Really enjoyed the sky rail. Glad we did it. Very, very glad we did it. So there's some more. These were you go all the way up to the Barron Falls. So they hadn't had much rain at this point in time. So the falls were a trickle. They were not roaring, but I have seen people's photos of the same place and it has been completely covered like white water. So, yes, not much water in them when we were there. So then we're on to, that's the first of the first signature. So we've got to that point. And now the second signature is on from there. So this is also about the Barron Falls. That's my picture of my husband and I from the a lookout at the top, and you can see the falls behind us in that particular picture. And again, you know, using things from that sticker sheet as much as I could, just to finish things off. And I sort of tried to incorporate colours that were in backgrounds and rocks and things like that. So tried to use up lots of bits and bobs. Now this was the butterfly house. So I did have a few butterfly chipboard stickers, so I kept those, especially for this, although that one looks more like a moth than a butterfly, but that's all right, doesn't matter. So yeah, the butterfly house was really, really pretty. So this was in Kuranda, right up the top. We went to the butterfly house and had lunch and stuff up there. So it's my husband sitting here, my son rang while we were there, and he sat down on the seat and he had butterflies all over him, which was pretty cool. So that was groovy. So yeah, we learned all about the life cycle of butterflies, yeah, and what they ate, how long they lived, all that sort of stuff. So I created a little pocket here on the side as well, and it's just got a little bit about the Ulysses butterfly that I was just talking about. And this is a picture of the front of the butterfly house. So, and I had some butterfly washi tape, so hey, if you've got it, use it. So this was all about that. And there's, you know, lots of things when you go on these kind of trips have, you know, memorabilia and stuff like this. So this is what we got from the butterfly house. So it shows you where everything is. in all through there. We went and had a look at the breeding laboratory and the caterpillars. So it was like the life cycle of the whole thing, which was really cool. And you wander through this massive aviary that's really warm inside. And yeah, you can see everything on there, which was really cool. So yeah, it shows you who everybody is in the aviary, which is cool. These are their main ones that they have anyway. So yeah, it was really cool. So yes, it's nice to keep those kind of things. So hence why I've got lots of little snippety bits. Oops, goes that way. Tucked in, so you can keep all that stuff, which is also what bulks out your journal and stuff as well. So that's why you need plenty of room in those signatures, so that when you bulk, you've got room for everything. I've created another pocket on the next side, so that's a pretty thick page, that one. So this, we had got to the railway, we went to the butterfly house, and then we had some lunch. It was pretty busy up there that day because, of course, it was cruise day. So we had a wander through the shops, bought some really cool handmade candies and things like that. So they're really hard boiled lollies. They were really good. So yeah, so I kept lots of things from the Kuranda Railway. So these were our tickets. Another postcard, because, you know, one can never have too many postcards. They're great for this kind of thing because it just shows where you are, which is cool. I don't think, no, I didn't write on that one. And this we got when we hopped onto the railway. So this is all about the history of the railway. And it came in a big sheet, and I was really trying very hard to keep it very flat to get it home. But in the end, I folded it up, and it worked perfectly in my journal. So this is a bit of the history of the Kuranda Railway and why they built it and all that sort of stuff. And it shows where it goes. So it starts way up here, and you backtrack down through the mountains all the way down. It's pretty spectacular. Pretty cool place to go and see. All right, so then they go back in there. Oh, I'm lifting a bit here. I might have to glue him back down a little bit. Pop all that in. So this is from the Kuranda Railway on this particular page with my pocket. And then it was time to go, waiting to leave the station, which is cool. I think this is, yep, this is a flip. And it's such a beautiful train that is so well looked after. I don't know if you can see that. It had a bit of a royal feel about it at times. Not on the inside, but on the outside. Yeah, so again, use lots of stickers and things like that. Did a bit of doodling. I was down to not too many letters, so I just mixed it up. They're not all the same sequence, like some are lowercase, some are uppercase, but it worked. So, yeah, looking good. Okay, there's another one of those paper clips on the top there. Next page. So this is the Barren Falls from the other side of the mountain. So they look like they've got a bit more water in them from that side. But again, using all the stickers, papers, spots, all that sort of things that I can journal on. Yeah, lots of fun stuff. Now this was, they're really good on the train. They tell you that this is coming up with this, it's like a big, it's not a suspension bridge. It's a massive bridge that's like up in the middle of nowhere. And the bridge connects one side of the mountain to the other side. And they slow right down so you can get photos out the windows, which is so cool. So I was super impressed that I got to take one the back way and the front way, which was really cool. So I like it, and that's a fabulous picture, that's for sure. I put some fabric and stuff on the sides, just as little tabs to mix things up. Then the next day we were in Cairns, so we didn't do a tour the next day. We just had a wander around Cairns and went and saw some sights. Went to the foreshore, all that sort of stuff. Such a pretty place, Cairns. It's really nice. If it wasn't so hot, it'd be somewhere fabulous to live. So we just had a good wander around the streets. So you'll think this is funny. I picked this up. These were sick bags. So we had a bit of a rough night one night on the cruise, and these sick bags get put out when it's like that. So I went, oh, they'd make great pockets. So I grabbed one. Didn't need it for sickness, thankfully. But yes, what I ended up doing was cut it down, and you'll see later, you'll see the other half of it in the back of the back of this journal. So that was cool. This one was a bit more about cans, and yet another postcard. And I stuck an extra photo on the back of here for a brewery that we went to. So my sister's partner's family, her sister and husband live in Cairns, so we all caught up for dinner at this particular brewery on one of our nights in Cairns, which was really nice. So I forgot to take a photo on the night, but I got one the next day, so that was a little bit of journaling all about that. So forgot to take a photo of the 6 of us together. Typical. Too busy enjoying ourselves. This was out and about around Cairns. We went for a bit of a wander. There was lots of charters going on and helicopter rides in here. It's another one of those Life 360 photos showing us in Cairns. That's my husband wandering down the street. Lots of these little boats docked on the jetties, which is cool too. So did lots of that sort of thing. While we were in Cairns, my husband and I both love seafood. So we were determined to go and have fresh seafood for lunch this particular day. So we found, we were talking to another couple who were also trying to find the same thing. So they had booked on this particular boat. It's called the Prawn Star. So they actually have these Prawn Star boats. They're old trawlers, and they convert them into little restaurants. So there's like a main boat that has like the kitchen part. This is a bar on our particular boat. That was one of the main boats. And you can choose whatever kind of fresh seafood that you would like to eat. So we went with this big giant platter, which was delicious, with Moreton Bay bugs and prawns and things like that. And it had a nice drink on there, which was well worth it. We both thoroughly enjoyed it and couldn't get over what an awesome setup this is, especially if you love seafood. So we've also now found out that it's in Brisbane where we live. So we're going to have to put this on our schedule here to go and visit as well. So that was fun. We've both really enjoyed that. That was good fun. So this was heading back to the boat after lunch. Picture of the boat in the top photo, a picture of us with the boat in the bottom photo. Selfie with the ship as we headed back, which was good. Again, used more of these stickers and things, which are great for this sort of stuff. They had heaps and heaps of things in the sticker book. I took a picture of the ship when we were at lunch. That's the top photo, and then this was the night that we went out for dinner as well. That was on our way back to the ship, so we stood back and took some photos, which was cool. And the journaling just says about, you really don't realise when you're on it how big it is. So this was as we left Cairns. This was a photo I was telling you about. This was Island Night, and we both had leis and things on. You can see my husband's shirt, but you can't see mine. So anyway, not to worry. We got a great sunset photo. So that was fun. And I just added lots of these to it as well to mix in. Now this is my sister's partner had her birthday on the second last day, on the Friday. So we booked in for high tea this particular day. That's her name. Happy birthday, Dino. Her name is Nadine. We all called her Dino. So we went and had high tea, which was really nice. Look how good those little sandwiches are. Yum. So we had that. It was a special sitting just for us. And there was probably 20 or 30 people that went and did it, which was nice. So it wasn't crowded, and you were very well attended to. So there's all about that, about how she had her birthday on the high seas, high tea on the high seas. So that was nice. It was a nice little birthday treat for her, which was fun. This is Willis Island. So Willis Island was our third stop, which is more a drive-by than it is, you don't actually stop here on the boat. You can see, again, my Life 360, we're in the middle of absolutely nowhere. So it's a weather station that's located 450 kilometres east of Cairns. And it's an external territory of Australia beyond the Great Barrier Reef in the Coral Sea. It's only 500 metres long, this patch of sand, and 150 metres wide. And it's a bomb weather station, and only ever 4 people on it at any one time. So it's a crazy place. So this is what we could see from the ship. You can't see too much. It is not very big at all, and it has one building on it, no trees. While we were on the boat passing by, we were talking to the people on the island, so you could hear them having an interview with the captain of the ship, which was pretty cool. So there was 3 of them on it at the time. So yeah, we got to submit questions and ask them lots of things, which was really cool. So somewhere I'd probably never see any other time, or ever again, probably. Yeah, quite a unique experience. This we did a show, and I used really white stickers on this. Can you read what that says? It's called Blanc de Blanc. So it's a fabulous show that we went and saw. It was a burlesque show. Not really what we were both, well, the 4 of us were thinking, but nevertheless, we had a fabulous time and laughed a lot. So if you ever get the chance to go and see Blanc de Blanc and you have an open mind, it's a lot of fun. So that was fabulous. We had a good time. And then our last one here was we woke up on our last day back in Brisbane. So home sweet home, docked back in Brizzy, which was really cool. And it was such a beautiful morning. We were having breakfast out on the deck, which was nice before we headed for home, which was cool. So nice way to document your 7 days, which is good. Oh, and I put a little photo on the back here. I love that carpet. The carpet was very cool. So I found it was very regal. So I took a photo of the carpet with my feet. Yeah, just something I had to share. And I found a cute little feet photo. So that was just a little bit of I said I had to share. And then the last page is just a little, the other half of that sick bag. So the other half of the sick bag, I decorated here, and inside of it, it has like our map that we had in Cairns, all the things that we could do, which was pretty cool. Some more photos of different parts of the Whitsundays, which were really nice. Some of these places, pretty fabulous actually. So I wanted to keep all of that sort of stuff together. And this is just another little one of the butterfly house as well that we got. So what you can do and things like that. So there you go. That's my flip through of my little journal. Yeah, I really enjoyed creating these. I tend to make one for each trip that we go on. So I try and do a holiday journal if I can, which keeps me going. At the moment, I'm still finishing off my 50th birthday one, and hopefully I'll get stuck into that shortly and get that all finished. But these are really nice to keep, nice to look back through and look at your memories and things you've created. So I hope you've enjoyed this. It's a bit of a look into that little journal, which is fun. Yeah, I had this done, I think, just before Christmas, so I had a fair bit of it created. I made it before I went, so when I came back, I was just ready to get stuck into it. So that's always a good thing to do too, that you can, you don't have to start putting things together. I was pre-prepared and got it all done. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this bit of a look through. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.